Hello and welcome to this quick tutorial on the Sign-In Sheets app, specifically on how to create a sign-in sheet using a spreadsheet, an Excel sheet with pre-registered group of people or students or anything that you would like to validate them signing in and signing out. So as you may have already done, downloaded the app and registered with the username and password, and that's what I'm using on signinsheets.org to log into the account. The only thing to remember when it comes to creating a sign-in sheet using an Excel sheet is the Excel sheet must have a couple of required columns. So if you see here, an email column and a first name column is a must if you're going to use email as your validation for the specific person. So John Smith, there could be 10 different John Smiths, but the email is the unique thing, so that's what they're going to use to sign out. If recently we have gotten a lot of complaints about email being too long to type, so we have added a feature which doesn't show on the website yet, is you can use an ID field, or the ID column that will allow somebody to sign in and out really easily. For example, an employee ID, a student ID, and so on and so forth works really well. So I'm going to quickly show you. I have created this Excel sheet which has the first name and ID column. None of these could be empty or blank. If any of these are blank, the sheet will not work. The last thing is we need a signature where if you want your users or your visitors to put in the ID but actually sketch a signature, that's the only thing that could be blank, because that's what users, people signing in and signing out, are going to sketch on. So you know that somebody actually did come in and nobody else just put in their number. So this is an Excel sheet example. You must have a first name, always, either an ID or, for that matter, and let me show you an email version of it. So the email version of the Excel sheet must have an email. So first name and email, or first name and ID should be present. Otherwise the sheet is not going to work. So here you go. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to come back to my let me make sure I close this guy first. Or I thought I did. Never mind. I'm going to import a list. Let's take the ID one. I'm going to import it. As soon as I do that, it's going to tell me to name the sheet. So I'm just going to say ID sign out test. This is the name of the sheet. Now I want a sign out button. This thing is very cool, where we've just added this feature. It's called I need this sheet to be persistent. If you teach a class on a regular basis, if you teach Zumba, or if you teach a math class, or if you teach a dance class, and you want people to not having to create this sheet, so once you load up your students, they will just come in, sign in, and sign out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create this sheet. You're going to get this message saying import file successful. When I do that, I will wait a second, and here's my sheet that I just created. It said ID sign out test. This is the sheet I just created, the first name, ID, and signature. Now if you go on your mobile device, which you can't see here, the users will use their mobile device, the iPad, or actually I could show you on the web app, so you could see. This mostly people use this on an iPad, but for example, this is the sign out sheet. So I'm going to type in my name, AJ, and I'm just going to type in one of the IDs that was on there. Can't remember what the ID was on the sign-in sheet, but let's see. ID. So one of the IDs was 4444. So I want to make sure that, and it must validate, otherwise it's no good, right? So, and then we can sign in and save and sign in. So this normally is done on, and I'm going to go back to my account. So remember, this normally is done on a mobile device. I'm just doing this so you can see what the sign-in process looks like. So once I come back here, under the reportings page, you're going to be able to see what I just did. So I just did And here's the signature I just created, which obviously was crappy because I've got a mouse here. And that's all there is in terms of creating a sign-in sheet and sign-out sheet using an Excel sheet. So make sure that you have a sheet that has everything filled out correctly, must have a first name column, and must have either an email column or an ID column for which you want to be using to sign out. Hope that helps. Thank you so much. If you need any other questions, or if you have any other questions, email at partner@signinsheets.org. Thank you and have a great day.